Elephants afraid of mice, dice is rolling. The heart sick and heavy, watching humanity fall. Willingly go to the gallows full of destruction. Darkness seen clinging into the dark. Final round coming to town. Minds of the masses, massive brainwashing souls, pilfered by the soul eaters. Deadly lies, it's the new truth. Evil doers sainted as saviors. Truth and curse and censor lies promoted. Dr. Seuss has been suppressed. If this is the new normal, you can't keep it. Angels thrown in prison, what can be done? The gullible to the bottomized, accepting hypnosis. Blinded by paper clown, world beyond the preposterous. Prosperous is dangerous. No more blind compliance, done with dark illusion. Walk through the town. Let's get slap happy. I see the huddling in their fabricated fear gasms. Like elephants afraid of mice, sheep and their masses, hypnotized by loathing. Don't wear sheep clothing. Flush the problem, walking in World War III of the mind. Destroyer of worlds, too busy looking for the enemy. They were the enemy at the gate. Be ready, let's start this fire. Elephants afraid of mice, dice is rolling. The heart's sick and heavy, watching humanity fall. Willingly go to the gallows full of destruction. Darkness seen clinging to the dark. Final round coming to town. Minds of the masses, massive brainwashing. Souls filched and pilfered by the soul eaters. Deadly lies, it's the new truth. Evil doers sainted as saviors. Truth and courage censored, lies promoted. Dr. Seuss has been suppressed. If this is the new normal, you can keep it. Angels thrown in prison, what can be done? The goal of the bottomized, accepting hypnosis. Blinded by paper clown worlds. Beyond the preposterous, prosperous is dangerous. No more blind compliance, done with dark illusions. Walking through the town, let's get slap happy. I see the huddling in their fabricated fear gasms. Like yellow friends afraid of mice, sheep and their masochists, hypnotized by loathing. Don't wear sheep clothing. Flush the problem, walking in World War III of the mind. Destroyer of worlds, too busy looking for the enemy. They were the enemy at the gate. Get ready, let's start this fire. Elephants afraid of mice, the dice is rolling. The heart's sick and heavy, watching humanity fall. Willingly going to the gallows pole of destruction. Well, how is everyone doing on a Friday night? Yeah, we were supposed to go at 6:30, but just hanging out in the back of the yard, getting stuff taken care of, and BSing, and started about 8:39 to be exact. So hey, how's everyone doing? And,
nibble, everybody.
Yeah, nibble, nibble. So we've all seen Mortal Kombat, the 2021 film.
Oh, we were supposed to watch Mortal Kombat? I watched Mortal Wombat. Damn it. Mortal Wombat!
So do we want to keep this spoiler free because there's probably some people that hasn't seen it yet? Because it was released at midnight. Friday midnight, the brand new day of Friday,
Mm-hmm. Well, that specific time.
In other words,
three on the East Coast. So
yeah, and you may still consider it a Thursday, but it released early, the first hour.
It's definitely Friday.
Or just playing Mario Kart with cuddles, huh? Mm-hmm. Good for them, man. Good for them.
Are they actually cuddling now?
Probably.
Disgusting.
It's a possibility. Oh, good jest and all fun. Yeah. So we want to keep this one spoiler free.
I guess probably for the benefit for those who don't have flash photography, we probably should.
Yeah. So I don't know. There was I would say there were some obvious plot holes in this storyline. Was canon followed? Exactly no.
Mm-hmm.
And is it perfect? No.
I would say some of those plot holes were more like potholes. That would be just me.
Or lack of plot. Other than that, it's a tournament that people gotta fight each other, and that's pretty much the plot.
But surrounding that stuff, if you like fighting action scenes, blood and gore, it all.
Mm-hmm.
It's got it all. There's even what I noticed. If you ever played any Mortal Kombat video game, you would notice key sayings from the video game, and I thought that was kind of cool. I was okay with that. That was neat.
Yeah, I would
I would say it's worthy of being a popcorn movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, Bear, if what you're talking about as far as like the action is concerned, as far as like a martial arts type of movie, it definitely did have like a lot of good choreography for that, at least, as compared to some of the other really bad like fight scenes that they've had in other shows and movies, like I don't know, some of the shit that they've had on the CW, for example. But I mean, for me personally, without giving anything away, a lot of the stuff that they didn't follow from the game and from the core canon that most of us know from that kind of like was a big turnoff for me, just for the fact that it's labeled as Mortal Kombat and it's trying to draw in the people that have been huge fans of that game and that franchise. So I mean, that's the one I would say the takeaway for me is that it kind of took me out of it, just because here's Mortal Kombat, but it doesn't necessarily feel like Mortal Kombat to me.
Yeah, I got that a little bit too from watching it. I felt like they focused more heavily on the basically catering to the fatalities and doing stuff like that, and kind of missed developing the plot of the movie.
So basically, there was an overabundance of shock and awe.
Yeah, basically they use that because I know a lot of people's gripes with the older Mortal Kombat movies was they weren't violent enough and didn't have enough, blood and guts and gore like the game did. So I feel like they overcompensated in that regard in this.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of shock and awe.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think as far as the casting, I think they had some pretty close perfects.
Mm-hmm.
I had to throw the Mortal Kombat word in there. But I think they had a few where they were more like babalities, and they kind of missed a spot there a little bit.
Well, I liked Sonya Blade. I like the actress that portrayed her. And other than that, I liked it. That doesn't mean that it was good. You know what I'm saying? Some may not think it was good, and some may. But I liked her portrayal.
Yeah, I thought she did a good job.
Yeah.
Well, and, here's the biggest question.
To me, she was believable.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my biggest question to you guys. Now, going forward, if they decide to go forward with this as like, franchising it and like redoing, Mortal Kombat as something that they can give to the masses like this, do you think they're going to take some of the criticism that the fans are giving and try to fix it? I mean, granted, maybe not like the way they did for Sonic, where they stopped in mid-production and then asked the fans what they thought and then tried to cater as best as they could. But do you think maybe that they're going to correct some of the issues that they had with this one moving forward?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think it's going to be one of those things where we're going to have to kind of wait and see. Because granted, didn't Mortal Kombat come from the Sega licenses?
Originally, yes.
And so did Sonic, and so they're connected by that family tree of that particular game system. And who knows, man? Maybe they will, but it depends. Depends on who all is involved, and depends on their reputation on how they treat fans of this particular franchise.
Yeah, I definitely hope if they do a sequel, which I'm gonna assume they are, just because it's Hollywood now that they're always making sequels. But I hope they keep like the fatality and stuff, but like flesh out the story more and the characters more, and like do the lore and delve more into that side of Mortal Kombat.
Well, if they wanted to be smart, now this is just a guinea pig's opinion, but if I was nibbling along at one of these scripts, I would probably just take characters individually and just do individual movies on those characters. You could flesh out their whole story in a fucking movie.
That's true.
You can find out so much more about the character, that way.
Hell, the Sub-Zero Scorpion plot from the games, like that, you could just do a movie of that, and you'd be good.
Well, like, they did their animated movie. And it was more about Scorpion so much than Sub-Zero, but even that. If they did something like that, because they kind of hinted at it a little bit in the beginning of this, and everybody has seen the trailer for that, I'm assuming. But they hinted at a lot what they did in the animated version. I think if they could have did a whole story just with those two.
Definitely.
And if you did one from Sub-Zero's perspective, you could find out why he hates them so much. I mean, that to me, that would just be.
Why their clans are at each other's throats, basically.
I mean, how interesting would it be to see like a whole backdrop movie of Raiden and these elder gods?
Now, you see, I think that's really what people really wanted in this movie. I think we wanted to see a battle between the gods, and that's probably not what folks got. We got a taste.
Yeah.
And we didn't get no more than the taste, but we got the other stuff.
I think I personally was not a fan of the casting for Raiden. He was Asian. He just felt off and didn't feel I don't know, like when Raiden spoke, like in the games, you felt his presence, like you knew that he, this is what's going down, and I didn't get that feeling from him in the movie.
You kind of got that same hollow feeling that you got from the Raiden character from the sequels, from the original Mortal Kombat, when they had Christopher Lambert in the first one, and then they had that other dude in the sequels, and he fell flat, I think, compared.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, I think that they have a lot that they can actually do with this franchise and actually really make something interesting that people are going to want to spend a lot of money on. But I personally just think that while this one has some good merits, I think overall for me, I feel like it's a miss. I just don't think that they did enough that's really going to want to pull in the hardcore fans of the Mortal Kombat franchise. That's just me.
No, I agree with you. It's not going to pull in those fans. It's not going to pull those fans in. Other than it being a mediocre, okay popcorn movie with a lot of blood and guts and battle scenes. That's about what it is. And
very little time together.
There's parts of it I like, and there's parts of it that I don't really have any feelings about. Other than it's just there's some plot holes.
Well, here's the one thing that a lot of people always keep talking about.
Hey, games, movies, comics, IRS, how you doing?
Greetings. One of the things that a lot of people say is they talk about, they're trying to cater more to the normies. But the normies are not the ones that are going to go to see the movie multiple times. The normies are not the ones that are going to be buying the merchandise. Because if they could take anything away, look what they've done to some older franchises where they've tried to reboot them or recast them, and they pretty much destroyed the characters, like Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. Jason, Friday the 13th. I mean, just a couple of horror movies
Halloween.
right there. Like Halloween, Psycho, when they recast that and they tried to pass this guy off as the new Norman Bates, nobody was buying, and they flopped. I mean, for me, even
you talking about the TV series?
No, I'm talking about the movies. And even the one that they did with Leatherface, that the remake of Texas Chainsaw, I did not like it. There was just something about it; it just fell off.
Yeah.
And you know what? Other than like the first Texas Chainsaw doing pretty good, the rest of them didn't do that well, and that's why they stopped producing them, because they had plans to keep going.
The remake?
Yeah, the remakes.
Yeah, I like the first remake. That wasn't bad. But all the other ones after that were just meh.
I mean, I don't see how they keep missing the mark with the stuff like that. I mean, at least when they came back with certain franchises, like when they did Godzilla, I thought the first one they did in 2014 was, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was bad. I thought they really took a step up in the right direction with King of the Monsters. The King Kong movies, I thought were just, I thought they were okay. I thought they were serviceable. I didn't think they were great, and I didn't think they were bad. I thought they were mediocre. But Godzilla versus Kong, I really felt like they hit that one out of the park. Now, a lot of people say King of the Monsters is still better, but I thought they did a damn good job with like all the extra stuff that they were putting in there to flesh out the backstory for that.
My two youngest really like King of the Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Yeah,
he really likes that one.
I mean, that goes to show you, when you get somebody that actually loves the franchise and is trying to infuse it with something new while still trying to keep as true to the old stuff as they possibly can, that the fans are going to be receptive of it. You know what I mean? Because I went out early on before Godzilla Kong ever released, and I was checking out all the toy lines that they had, because that's what I do. So I seen them all over the place. They were on the shelves. They were everywhere. There was all kinds of toys to be had. After that movie released and it was well received, all those toys were gone off the shelves. And I have not seen them back on the shelves since.
Wow.
That goes to tell you that movie was well received. You paid enough respect to the fans that they went out and they bought up the merchandise.
Yeah.
And you would think that a lot more of these companies would pay attention and say, hey, we've really got to do some fan service here, because they're the ones that are going to keep this franchise going.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
That's where
money.
Too. Merchandising.
Merchandising.
Don't they realize happy fans spend money?
Mm-hmm.
Fans that aren't happy with them don't spend money. If there's a product they don't like, they're not going to want to buy it. Yep. Key thing. Caveat opter, people, buyer beware.
Mm-hmm.
No, I seen Runner was in here and Runner ran out.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't want to be spoiled because he hasn't seen it yet.
Hey, it's up, Runner. Yeah, we're doing non-spoilers, just so you know.
Yeah.
And hey, V-Store, I hope you're feeling better.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. I just don't understand how these companies are missing the mark. They should be paying attention. When you pay respect to the fans and you do a little bit of that fan service, you're going to wind up seeing the return. I mean, it's really not that hard of a concept. Yet you get these big corporations that some of these other ones are looking to, like freaking, I don't know, the House of Mouse. Oh, may they burn. But you get companies like that just don't want to do fan service. They want to do their own thing, and they want to give you rocks and ships called Ship or the Vessel, and they want to give you garbage, and they expect you to eat it up because, oh, well, we got the fucking name here. It says your favorite franchise. No, it means nothing anymore after what you've done to it. It's just a shame that they're just not picking up on this. All the clues are there for them to wake up and see what's going on. I mean, look how well Sonic did. Sonic was an underrated movie that wasn't really supposed to do much, yet they sat there and they paid attention. They gave the fans a little bit of service, and they, while they didn't blow it out of the park as far as canically for the Sonic franchise enthusiasts, they did enough service that they enjoyed it, and the numbers spoke for themselves for that movie. It did really well. Yeah. And I just don't get it. I mean, how could they not want to make money?
Leaks or whatever of the new one, and if it's any indication of what Knuckles and Tails are going to look like in the next one, I'm pleased, to say the least. So,
well, I have to ask my daughter about that. She's like a humongous fan of that franchise, and she told me all the things that were wrong. I actually did a video because she went and seen it, and she was telling me all the things that were wrong and all the things they did right. And even then, even with the flaw, she said she was extremely pleased with it. So,
I knew it wasn't exactly canon, but I liked it. I've seen it in theaters, so back before everything happened.
The thing that shall not be mentioned.
Yeah. I don't know. This movie, it felt like they were trying to recapture something. And they didn't exactly hit the mark. And because the Street Fighter movies and stuff like that, how it had a certain style. And the video games, and you had those style of movies in the 80s and in the 90s, and it felt like they were trying to capture something like that, and they had the right idea, but they just kind of missed the mark a little bit.
They had poor execution,
and it's gonna end up just being a good, I'll say for spoilers, just a good popcorn movie. And then maybe it will fade from memory.
Yeah. I just hope if they do a sequel, they learn from some of the mistakes and criticism of the first.
I mean, that's the smart thing to do. Whether or not they're going to do it just remains to be seen. But I think there's enough franchises out there that are actually taking the cues and they're doing the things right that it's starting to look a lot better than it did even a year ago.
That's true. I know on Friday Night Tights they were basically saying that government is basically hand in hand with the basically they're paying Hollywood basically to do a lot of this stuff, and that's why we're getting a lot of the woke stuff and all that in movies, because they're basically footing the bill a lot of the time through taxes and all that stuff for them to preach their message or whatever. Thankfully, there wasn't any of that in this movie.
No, absolutely not. And you know what? That is one good thing that they didn't have any of that trash in here. Like I was watching, even that New Mutants had a little bit of it in there.
Yeah, it did.
And I was like, it was just like, I really don't want to hear this trash anymore. I'm sick of hearing it.
Yeah. New Mutants was good. Once Magic got her like sword and her powers and doing that shit, I was like, yeah.
I own the Sonic movie, but I haven't watched it. My kids loved it. My kids, they loved it. And their craze right now is everything Godzilla. Yeah. And a little bit of King Kong. Yeah. King Kong, but it's all Godzilla. And so I think this coming Christmas, there's going to be a lot of Godzilla toys.
I don't know. Nice. From what I've seen, you're going to be hard pressed to find some of them. I'm telling you, it's like insane how quickly they flew off the shelves. I scoured one store that had them in abundance, and I found one lone Kong figure. That's it. Out of all the ones that they had, because they have multiple different sizes too. Like they have I think the ones are about 8 inches tall or so, 8 to 9 inches tall, and then they had ones that were even bigger than that. They were almost like a foot taller, maybe taller. And they were everywhere at first. And like I said, when I went back looking after that movie was released, they were all gone. All of them. It was just crazy how fast they flew off the shelves. And I seen the same thing.
Hey Nick, how you doing?
Hello everybody. Hey. How are you?
Good.
Oh, good.
How's it going? I seen the same shit with the Transformers after they released that Netflix. A lot of those figures started flying off the shelves. And now when I go into a lot of these stores trying to find some of these figures, other than the Kingdom stuff that's out right now, all the other stuff beforehand, you couldn't find it. It was just gone. Like even those 86, they were doing the 86 cartoon movie. They were flying off the shelves.
You talking about the remake figures? The masterpiece?
No, just the Hasbro releases for the Siege line. But the you mean the 86? I don't know if they're considered mastered. No, they're considered movie series. They're not masterpiece. They're just considered movie series figures.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean they're done. They're done up to look just like the '86 cartoon movie. I managed to pick up Grimlock, and holy shit, nice. It looks just like the cartoon, awesome. And it comes with a little posable wheelie figure.
Really? Yeah, I love that movie to death. That was the first movie that had a swear word in it. First animated movie that had a swear word in it. Swear word in it that I heard as a kid.
Oh, he said shit. That's what he said. Oh, shit. What the hell are we going to do now?
Yep. Oh, shit. Now what are we supposed to do?
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm going to show you a picture of, I picked up 4 of these just for giggles. And I picked up the Transformers Kingdom War for Cybertron Trilogy Optimus Prime. He's, I'd say, about 4 inches tall.
He's about 3.5 to 4 inches tall. Yeah, I think it's more closer to 3.5. Yeah, because those core figures are pretty small.
Because I got 4 of them. You know how long it took for it to get here? 3 months.
There it is.
3 months.
Well, Bear, like I was saying, they had like Megatron and Starscream and everything like that. So
yeah,
if you perchance need me to like stop and pick them up, just let me know. Because it would probably take a lot less time for me to pick them up and send them to you than it would be for you to order them.
Wow. Because I did my I did Christmas shopping early. I did it in October, and I ordered these particular Optimus Primes, and they didn't get here until It was about March when they got here. Beginning of March. Yeah. I ordered 4 of them. And no, they're not open.
With the new remote control or voice activated
you know what? Here's the one
Prime
thing
right now.
Yeah, and let me tell you one thing about that figure. That figure has actually been around for quite a while. It's been out for a few years. It was made by a smaller company that wound up creating something that looked just like Optimus Prime. It didn't, of course, didn't have no logos on it. It didn't have Transformers on it. It didn't even have the Optimus Prime name. And they made this thing, and it was selling like hotcakes. Hasbro was smart enough to look at it and say, "Hey, this is doing really well." So they did like they did back in the 80s. They went and made a deal with the company to put it under the Transformers banner with the logos and the name on the packaging. And they jacked up the price, of course.
$700.
Started reselling it.
Yeah, almost $700, yeah.
$700 for about 7 minutes of entertainment, really.
Yeah, because when they were first selling that thing, I want to say it was probably like maybe $150 at the most. So once they got all the licensing stuff on it, it jacked up the price. And then everybody's talking about, I got to get this because I said you could have had it a couple of years ago. This isn't nothing new. They're acting like it's something brand new. I mean, people just don't pay attention. It's that proverbial, if it's not right in front of your face and you're not getting smashed over the head with it, you don't even notice it's there.
There we go. That sucker there.
Yeah, but see, it's not a big thing until Kevin Smith cries over it.
Oh yeah. Him and Jay and Silent Bob were playing with it in the one video I watched.
Yep.
You know what, guys? This brought back a lot of childhood.
That's funny.
I mean, it's cool and all, but like I said, it's $700 for 7 minutes of entertainment. Like, what are you going to do after you're done transforming? It's going to go on a shelf somewhere until company comes over. Hey guys, you got to take a look at this thing.
Roll out.
Shit, I can go buy an original, still sealed in a package for almost the same price.
And get more mileage out of it too.
Exactly.
That's like because Hasbro has Power Rangers now. I'm really frightened for what they plan on doing with the series.
Well, you know what? Here's the one thing, though, Draven. If they take what they've learned from mishandling the Transformers for years, and they finally went back to the well and they started getting it right again.
Yeah.
If they take that approach with the Power Rangers, they may knock it out of the park.
Well, I know they were talking about having some I know there was identity politics already in some of the talks for the movie, and it's like Power Rangers has always been diverse. Like, what? And then now I guess the 6th Ranger in Dino Knights is a black guy, so they're like he's the first black 6th Power Ranger or whatever. And it's like we've had a leader for the Power Rangers that has been black multiple times. Like, what does it? What does this matter?
Male and female.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like this doesn't matter.
I like the movie.
They just have to learn. They just have to learn the hard way that woke trash is just woke trash, and no one wants to see that.
I like the movie that they came out with last with Bryan Cranston as Zordon. I mean, they changed a bunch of things, but it wasn't bad. It
had elements of it that were good, and then
except for fucking Goldar.
Goldar was trash. I hated the Zord
except for freaking Goldman. Goldar. I mean, they could do a lot better job with that.
Yeah, when you go into the Power Rangers area, I know nothing about it. My kids,
I grew up on
boys,
it. So.
My boys love it, love it. Great. And I've seen a little bit here, a little bit there, and it's like the first thing I say, okay, I've already seen Ultraman, and then I switch.
Yeah,
and to me, it reminds me of a copycat Ultraman. Only there's 7 or 8 Ultraman or 9 Ultraman or something like that. That's what it kind of felt like to me.
Well, I checked out at Dino Thunder, I think. It's like, well, Tommy's just going to have to play every color Ranger eventually. I mean, white, green, red, whatever.
Dino Thunder was good. Dino Charge was, I would say, probably of the newer seasons, pretty good.
Just give me the classic.
We got a lot of our own unmorphed fight scenes, and we hadn't gotten a lot of that in a long time. So it was nice to have some of that back for once.
But isn't it funny, though? Isn't it funny when everything is falling apart and they can't seem to make sales that they always got to dig back into the well?
Mm-hmm.
Because nostalgia sells at better ideas and characters back then.
I will say the fact that Hasbro has it, I'm hoping that we go away from using the footage of Sentai and start creating our own versions of and teams, which would be nice. And basically creating our own. Well, Rangers already has its own like canon, sort of. It's very loose, but
there's no such thing as canon these days. Anything can be rewritten and thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
but I'd like to see us come up with our own stuff, at least over here for it, instead of just using footage from other Sentai series and stuff.
So yeah.
And then as far as the toy line, I want to see the Legacy line come back. I know they have the Lightning collection, but it's just figures and no weapons or Zords. So
I still have the original Red Dragon Thunder Zord up in my closet, along with the other part. What was the other animals Thunder Zords?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some of the Legacy stuff was really expensive though when it came out.
Yeah, it was, but now it's even more expensive.
I bet.
Titanus was like, I want to say $150 when it first came out. Now it's like $400.
Wow.
That's like the Star Wars Imperial Shuttle. I mean, talk about insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's like $600. Which, much like the original nostalgia, the classic stuff sells because it was developed better. The characters were more memorable. The quality was better. I miss diecast days. Diecast days.
That's why a lot of the Legacy stuff was nice because it had diecast parts.
Even the if you look at Hot Wheels, it's diecast on the top, but it's got the plastic bottom. And it's like,
or vice versa, yeah.
Yeah, bring back the all diecast Hot Wheels.
Yeah, it's funny you should mention that, Bear. I just ran across because my wife and my daughter both loved the Nintendo stuff. They love Mario and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I found these they were supposed to be what are they called? The type of toys where you pick them up in a box. It's a mystery box.
Oh, blind bags.
Blind bags.
Yeah. They had little Hot Wheels cars inside of them of different Mario things like Koopa, the Ghastly, and all these different things. So I picked up some of those, and I was specifically looking for one with the Koopa, and it's just like the Koopa shell, because my wife loves turtles. So, and actually our one turtle is called Koopa. So I was just buying these things just to find that. And I wound up getting a whole bunch of other ones. Finally got the Koopa, but I was checking it out. The bottom is all die cast, and then the top is like a hard plastic or something. So, I mean, they're actually not bad, all things considering, for a cheap little blind bag or blind box, They're not really that bad, though, surprisingly.
Yeah, one of my favorite toys that my stepdad bought me when I was a little kid that I always remember and lasted the test of time forever was the Go Lion solid metal Voltron.
Oh, yeah. The big 12-inch lines.
The big one, yeah, but it was all solid metal. They were there's plastic wings, but I mean, die cast.
I think some of the jaws were plastic too, like the bottom end of the jaw or something, or...
But the exoskeleton, the shell was metal. The legs were metal.
Mm-hmm. Those things were built to last.
Oh yeah.
I remember the first time that I seen that entire set is there was a place up towards New Brunswick. It's called the US1 Indoor Flea Market, and that was the first time I'd ever seen it. And holy shit, man, I was just blown away by it. But it was too much money for my dad to buy all those lines, so he wound up buying me some the micro change figures that were over from Takara. Because back then, like, you'd go out to like flea markets and indoor flea markets, and they would sell the stuff that's directly imported from Japan. And holy shit, you could find some really cool shit. And I picked up a lot of those things right before Transformers actually hit the shelves, under the rebranding. But I remember seeing that lion set, and I was just blown away. And if you don't know about the Route 1 Indoor Flea Market up there near New Brunswick, Kevin Smith actually incorporated that into Mallrats.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Oh, wow.
It's when they go see the fortune teller, right?
Yes. Yeah. It didn't look like that, mind you. The inside, it didn't look anything like what he had in that movie. But holy shit, man, you found some really cool shit in that place. What I would give for a transporter.
There was a flea market that was in the old Goldblatt's building basement in downtown Hammond, Indiana, where the Goldblatts used to be. Because when they ran a business, the building got bought up, and there was a flea market in the basement. And we're talking like the basement used to be part of the department store, and then the upstairs was also a level of, basically it was like 3 levels of flea market. Yeah. And it was the old Goldblatt's department store.
I love flea markets. You can find all kinds of cool stuff. Sometimes it's swap meets too.
A lot of the flea markets near me have all closed up.
Yeah, so you can score some cool stuff. That is for sure.
Yeah, it really is a shame what we have now. I guess would you say our modern equivalency of the flea markets for the most part. It's just like a whole bunch of little mini stores. It's like a whole bunch of little like dollar type stores and shit like that. It's just not exactly how it used to be back in the day, and it really is a shame.
It's kind of like when you go to Comic-Cons and you're in the exhibit hall and everything's all packed together really tightly.
And they're selling everything at the museum prices.
Yeah. Because everything's a collectible now.
Yep.
They all seen the Antique Roadshow, and they think that collector plate or a Snoopy snow cone machine's worth thousands of dollars.
Snoopy cone. My parents used to have a bunch of those because they sell stuff on eBay, and they used to sell a bunch of Snoopy shit, and that was like, you could find that thing anywhere.
I found my old Snoopy powdered soap dispenser over at my father's house. I also found my brother, and Nick might appreciate this. It's the big, God, how that thing was about a foot long or better. The big kit car with the Michael Knight figure.
The Michael Knight kit car, yeah.
No, this is just the play car.
Oh, you mean the die-cast one?
No, the big plastic play car. The big plastic play car for that tall, like what was he, like 6 or 7 inch tall Michael Knight figure?
Yeah, doesn't it talk when you press a license plate in the back?
I don't remember if it talked or not. Maybe it did. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Because I remember
the Michael Knight figure.
Yeah, I remember the whole outside was plastic because somehow the way my dad packed it away, the doors had popped off. Yeah, I found both doors and stuffed them inside the car before I wrapped it up and packed it away. But
yeah, that's hands down in the Knight Rider world, which I'm an expert in apparently. Is hands down the best kit car ever made. Period.
Do you remember the ones? I remember it had Knight Rider 2000 on it, and it had like a zip base to it. It was like a Hot Wheel or Matchbox style car, and it had like a little tunnel. And you would slide the
that's
tunnel
a turbo.
That's
a turbo booster one, and the car's really skinny and long.
Yes,
I actually have that up in my wouldn't surprise you, but I actually have that up in my bedroom.
Nice.
Yeah, you put the car in the tunnel, and then when you pull the tunnel back, it just comes flying out. It's pretty cool.
Well, I don't know if you guys have noticed lately, but T-Mobile's internet connection has been very nil if there, and then not there, because I've been having some freaking issues. And
on your phone?
Internet, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not my phone, it's the towers that they're working on.
Yeah.
That's what's the problem is.
4G is crap these days.
And well, let's see. I've had really good fast speeds where I'm at. It took me about 5 minutes to upload a 1 terabyte, 3.5, 4 minute video. And we're talking 4K video.
Mm-hmm.
And it would take anywhere from 5 to 6 minutes. Not 2.5 hours, not an hour, not 45 minutes. And I was starting to upload on my phone the video that I had done. And I'm like, holy shit, 2.5 hours? That's the longest one I've seen yet. And so I just uploaded on the laptop, and I did a speed test on the internet. And it was 59 megabits a second. I'm like, wow, that's faster than my freaking phone.
Yep.
Holy cow. And it said 22 minutes to upload. And I'm just like, okay, I'll take that. Consolation prize. Ding, ding, ding. Then, I was talking about a pain. And then I call customer service. Where do I get sent? It's either India or Pakistan. Couldn't tell which.
Yeah.
And then I told the guy to send me to Solutions. That is a customer service level at T-Mobile customer service. And they were telling me that it doesn't exist. I'm like, excuse me, did you just lie to me? Did you just lie to me on the open airwaves? That's a good thing you're not in the United States. You'd be fined $10,000 or more, you know.
Well, I mean, you can bet that recording, for quality assurances will mysteriously disappear.
Oh, they're in India. They don't have no such laws there. They got no laws there like that, like the FCC does here in the States for airwaves and stuff, and what you can say and what you can't say. I used to be a telemarketer. And so I'm kibitzing with this guy. This guy keeps trying to read his dialogue script and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm like, can you please stop talking and listen to what I'm saying to you?
They never
please. Can you just stop and listen? Don't say nothing. I'm not interested in what you have to say. And I'm trying to be as polite as I can. Tell this guy, I'm not here to listen to what you got to say. I'm here to tell you this, and this is what you're going to do. And then I need to speak with Solutions. Please transfer me. And I don't want to hear any excuses. What you have to say. No, you can't help me. They need to help me. Please transfer me. All polite and all that. Saying it this way. And my God, it's like they were getting, it was like rubber bouncing balls bouncing off of each other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, they always treat you like a complete idiot.
And so, and I know they know what I'm saying, but they know what Solutions is. I speak with them every now and then. But they were trying to tell me it didn't exist. Outright just lied to me. And I'm like, okay, $sign right there.
Should have been like, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yeah, $sign right there. So I get put on hold. I'm of course, I know the difference between being transferred to Solutions because it's a call center somewhere in the center part of the country in the United States.
You know what gets me?
So I'm on hold, and I finally get, I'm not done. I finally get a supervisor. And I asked the supervisor, am I speaking to a call center in the States? Click. And I told them I didn't really want to speak to a foreigner. I need to talk to a call center in the States. You can't help me. Transfer me to Solutions. I didn't even get that far. Are you in the States? Click. They hung up on me. And so I called back again. I dealt with another maniacal customer service person, probably from India. And I got click. Hung up on twice. Twice. Because the second time I got a customer service person, I said, transfer me to Solutions. Please don't talk. Just do it. And click. I'm just like, wow, I'm on a roll here. And so I hung up. I called back. And when I called, I kept saying solutions now over and over again to the automated system. And it transferred me to a call center in the States that handles the Chicagoland region. When I say that, that's from Chicago all the way down to Tennessee. They handle all those calls. And so I got this guy that sounded suave, like he belonged on a freaking radio station, talking about the jazz that he was getting ready to play. And I was telling him everything that happened to me and all that. And I told him, I go, you know what? I go, there's 3 lines that aren't getting their money worth, $20 a month. And for the last 3 months, it's been crappy. And I told him, I go, so there's going to need to be credit to the account. And for the last 3 months, $20 per line, that's $180 for the last 3 months credit. And the guy, man, and I asked for it, and he went and just did it, and he goes, that's reasonable. This guy was awesome. Name's Devin, customer service guy. And at the same time, I got a reply on Twitter when I was asking T-Mobile service about some of the things that have been going on and all that, and I recommended that they give Devin a raise because he was awesome.
I'll tell you, me personally, that is the exact reason why I dumped T-Mobile probably more than 15 years ago.
Yep.
Because their customer service sucks so many different kinds of balls. It's not even funny.
Yeah, it does.
I can't say.
I don't know. As long as they keep giving the credit for where it's due and what's fair, I'll stay with them. Well,
I had a similar situation. I mean, my situation with the internet, what it used to be with that one company. And I didn't wind up getting relief and then wind up getting some kind of compensation for it until I wound up going over regular customer service head, and I went right to the corporate level. That's when I started getting some action. Because I went right to them and started pissing and moaning. I said, look, you're either going to do something about this, or I'm just going to have to go to the Better Business Bureau, and then I'm going to file a complaint with Consumer Affairs. And they're like, whoa, no, that's not going to be necessary. We're going to be able to help you. And I said, are you sure? I said, because I've heard this story before. And oh, man, I got credited like a few months worth. And I'm not even talking partial bill. I'm talking like full bills. Like they completely credited me. Because I get so irritated at one point. The internet was so bad, I just refused to pay the bill too. So the bill, it was backed up probably like $200 or $300 at least. So she credited me all that. Then she actually added credit on for another month because of how bad it was and all the problems I was having and all the running around I was getting from regular customer service for God knows how long that was. I mean, what was that for? Like good 6-7 months at least, Bear?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, I finally got it. But like I said, I had to go over customer service head, go right to the corporate level.
Yeah, I always hate talking to customer service because they always tell me shit that I've already done.
Oh, and by the way, T-Mobile replied. Do you know that? They replied on Twitter. They go, hey there, glad to hear that Devin was able to help turn this around for you. If you have more feedback in the future, send us a DM with details and we'll make sure your voice is heard. Thanks. That's a first ever. I didn't think I'd get a reply. I didn't think I'd get a reply. That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's neat. That tells me that they're making some efforts.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, look how far you had to go to get the efforts. Though.
Oh man, yeah, it wouldn't have come to me. They weren't going to voluntarily do it. No, you got to. All right. You know how Tommy is all the time. The way he is. Well, I am like what you call a concentrated customer service pit bulldog going after a bone, and I'm not going to let go until I get blood and get what I want. That's what I am when it comes to customer service. because you pay for something. You should at least get what you pay for.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because if not, then they shouldn't have fucking contracts.
Sammy for Sammy, you know what I'm saying? Same.
My favorite is when the customer service say, "Well, this is really the best that we could do right now," and and I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? And the best I can do is I could cancel your service and I can go find somebody else. I don't need you. You need me. Mm-hmm. Remember that."
Exactly.
Yep.
It's the customer that matters and their voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's the ducats. It's the ducats that they're going to get paid if they give you what you want.
So tell me if you can hear this. Learning to grow roses, reviving horns, breaking the barrier of time and space. Learning to grow roses. What was given, not excuses out. Keep pretending to not notice. Wave of emotion, like wave rolling back. Pretending and pretend all the faking, spinning yarn all over town. Don't blow gasket. Getting lost in town, finding trouble in double time. Learning to grow roses, 3 wise men pulling cords, breaking the barrier of time and space. Learning to grow roses. What was given, not making excuses. I'll keep pretending not to notice. Wave of emotion, like the waves rolling back. Pretending and pretend land, all the faking, spinning yarns all over town. Don't blow gasket, getting lost in town, finding trouble in double time. Learning to grow roses, 3 wise men holding torch, breaking barrier, time and space. Learning to grow roses. What was given, not making excuses. I'll keep pretending not to notice. Wave of emotion, like waves rolling back. Pretend land, all the fake, spinning yarn all over town. Don't blow gasket, getting lost in town, finding trouble in double time. Learning to grow roses, 3 wise men pulling cords, breaking the barrier of time and space. Learning to grow roses. What was given, not making excuses. I'll keep pretending to not notice. Wave of emotion, like waves rolling back. Pretending, pretend all the fake, spinning yarns all over town. Don't blow gasket, getting lost in town, finding trouble in double time. Learning to grow roses, 3 wise men pulling cords, breaking the barrier of time and space. Learning to grow roses. Learning to grow roses, 3 wise men pulling cords, breaking the barrier of time and space. Learning to grow roses. What was given, not making excuses. I'll keep pretending not to notice. Wave of emotion, like waves rolling back. Pretending in pretend land, all the fake spinning yarns all over town. Don't blow a gasket, getting lost in town, trouble in double time. Learning to grow roses, wise men pulling corks, breaking the barrier of time and space. Learning to grow roses, 3 wise men pulling corks, breaking the barrier of time and space. Learning to grow roses, breaking the barrier of time and space. 3 wise men pulling corks. All right, it's very interesting on how that song came to be. It was, I believe it was last Saturday, and it was just me solo by myself, and it was RR in the chat and Mikhail in the chat, and RR is drinking his favorite cognac. I'm drinking 2 of my favorite cognacs, the Hennessy Black Label and the standard Hennessy. And, the fish, they come with corks. And so we were, and Mikhail, he was drinking some good bourbon. He may have been drinking some cognac as well. But, we're all connoisseurs of some good stuff, And cognac, I've discovered that I've got a love for it, just like I have a love for some 12-year-old, 18-year-old Scotch single malts, and particularly Speyside. And it's kind of one of those things where, I can take a sip here and there, and I can do a live stream, and I don't lose my filter, and that's really good. Now, pints of ale, forget it. Not going to happen.
What is this filter thing that you speak of?
This filter thing I speak of because, put it to you this way, if I were to put ale in me, I'd probably be telling people where to go, what to do, and all that stuff with expletives. Whereas with cognac, I still have my filter. So in other words, I don't drink ale when I'm live streaming. I drink cognac because besides cognac is kind of different. I really don't get the typical, alcohol buzz behind it. It's good stuff. Nick, I don't know if you are a connoisseur of good distilled liqueurs of different types. You there, Nick?
Nick drinks the Knight Rider 2000 malt liquor.
Yeah.
Sorry, I muted myself. Is that me doing that?
That just sounds like someone's computer fan. It's not annoying. It's all good.
It's probably me.
Yeah, I think it is. I was just checking to make sure it's not mine.
Yeah, it's just picking up the hum of a fan. And
I got my earphones in, so there's no speaker. There's no speaker feedback on my end.
It's my potato until I get my beast computer.
Anyway, yeah, I was trying to say I don't drink alcohol because I have a super taster ability, I guess, and it makes alcohol taste really, really bitter, like earwax. So I can't really stomach anything like that or coffee. There's a chemical in it. I don't know. It has some long, complicated name. But if you're a super taster, you're very sensitive to that particular chemical. And you find it in alcohol, wine, obviously wine. Coffee,
if you were to taste wine, it would taste like the most rancid vinegar. And And sour?
It's not that intense, but it's definitely not favorable.
Wow.
I think the best way I can describe it, and don't ask me how, but if you've ever tasted earwax, it tastes like that.
Does it taste like beeswax? I know what beeswax tastes like.
No, it's considerably more sour than that.
Well, I don't know. I have a strict no earwax policy, so.
I'm not a big fan of beer
sometimes
either.
you're digging out your ears and your tongue just happens to
Are you, Angelus, besides the liquid red stuff, are you a fan of any liqueurs, cognac, scotch?
He likes Bloody Mary.
I like scotch. I'm a mixed guy. I like to mix things and make like mixed shots or.
His favorite shot. I
have a
brain hemorrhage shots are really damn good.
Yeah, I have a suggestion. What you do is, those at Walmart, they sell those 2-shot things of Hennessy.
Mm-hmm.
Get one and just take sips off of it real slow.
Okay.
And that's kind of what it was kind of meant for. And it wasn't really meant to be downed as a shot as a whole. Basically, you take a sip, and for me, I get the flavors of the cask of the barrel, the smokiness of the wood. I get some tannins in there. I get some little bit of bitter, some caramels, and even a very mild hint of vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I get out of it. And a good time sometimes too.
No, I would suggest just like keeping it like dirty and keeping it like cheap, and just get yourself some Orange Jubilee or some Grape Mad Dog.
Oh, no way. Did that when I was a teenager. No.
I used to like Aftershock when that was a thing. It's basically Fireball, but it was in a thing, and rock candy was on the bottom of it, and it was in like a what do you call it? One of those glasses that has like the snow, like snow on the windows, like the spray snow. Sort of looks like that, but the glass bottle of that.
I had a friend of mine. He was into a lot of schnapps and everything, but his favorite was the Goldschlager.
Okay, yeah.
I remember that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I personally couldn't stand it. Ugh, I'd rather drink Everclear fucking 190 proof like grain alcohol than that stuff.
Hey, yeah, I drank that when I was a teenager. I drank lots of that Everclear stuff.
Yeah, Everclear was great.
Ooh, buddy.
Do you remember when they were making the mixed ones? They came like, I think it was like a 4-pack, and they would have like a purple passion fruit, a grape, and I always forget what the other 2 flavors. Yeah, we picked them up a few times. Those things were so good.
But basically, I drink Everclear, and when you're drinking, when you got stuff like Bacardi 151 rum or Everclear, if you leave a drop of that stuff somewhere, you better wipe that up quick, because it's going to put a hole in something.
Oh.
Yeah, we left a little tiny drop on the linoleum in my friend's mom's house, and it was about the size of a pea, maybe a dime. It ate a hole in the linoleum. The 151, the Bacardi 151.
Wow.
We were getting sauced, and apparently we didn't see the drop of 151. We didn't know that shit could eat a hole in linoleum.
Imagine what it does to your insides.
Well, he took some eardrum damage from his mom.
Oh.
The cool thing was she didn't tell my mom.
That's good.
Because she knew I was over.
Yeah, Jaeger and Rumpelmans, I'm not allowed to have any of those because, bad things usually happen.
What was the other one everybody used when I was younger? They used to love that Southern Comfort.
Oh,
That was another one. That was another one. It was like, I don't know about that.
Because we would mix Jaeger and Rumpelmans together.
Jägermeister, Southern
make
Comfort,
screaming Yahtzees. And,
let's see. There's Jägermeister, Southern Comfort. There's another one. I'm forgetting one.
Now, my favorite
Yukon Jack.
My favorite mixer was always Kahlua. Because you can mix Kahlua with a lot of different things, and it tastes really good.
Goes good in coffee.
So what the hell they call that? They call it a white bull. A white bull and a black bull.
Oh.
So instead of the White Russian and the Black Russian, you all you're doing is you're supplementing the vodka for tequila.
Oh.
Really good. I don't know. I like that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, I like mezcal too, and I like getting that worm at the bottom of the container.
Ugh.
Num, eat them up.
You are a guinea pig, so.
Holy cow, man! Yeah, I figured you would like the brain hemorrhage thing. That's more of an East Coast thing.
Oh,
what's in the brain hemorrhage drink? I never had that.
Vodka, peach schnapps. Usually they put some kind of like a cream liqueur, like a Bailey's or something like that for the brain.
Bailey's,
and then they top it off with either grenadine. Then it's all dependent on the bars. Most bars will use grenadine. Some will use slow gin.
Mm-hmm. And when the Bailey's hits the liquor, it curdles it, so it looks like brain. Yeah. And then there's the alien ones, and you can use the blue. What is it? Blue
Caraco.
Yeah, Caraco, and but they're delicious.
So yeah, to me, the vodka. No. Let's see. There is. Name some of those drinks you just named. Some of those alcoholic drinks. There was vodka, and there was one other gin, slow gin. All right. I got smashed one time when I was 16. Me and my friends, we had a fifth of slow gin, and the new neighbor girls next to my friend's house had just moved in, and we were all getting along smashingly, and got smashed on slow gin. My God, man, that was a pretty fun night. It was what you call June summer warm night, and stars are shining, the moon was thin, and it was a hell of a lot of fun. And and man, let me tell you, slow gin can add some fun to a party.
I'll tell you what, though, too much slow gin now, it sits so heavy on your stomach because it's almost like a syrup.
Oh yeah. But my God, did we get smashed? We drank the whole bottle.
Wow.
And the height of my ridiculousness when I was drinking, one of my favorites was to just get either a bottle. It depended on which bottle I could get cheaper. I would get either 175 Bushmills, or I would get a Jameson's, and then I would get a bottle of Bailey's. And what I would do is I'd fill a tall glass up to about 3/4 of the way with Jameson's, and then just top the rest off with Bailey's. That is a strong freaking drink, and you never put ice in it because it dilutes it.
I still need to get black absinthe because it's the topper for the Deadpool shot, and the grenadine is part of that too, and then I believe a strawberry liqueur and something else. But
they used to have so many.
It's red on the bottom, and then like the top has the black absinthe, so it's red and black.
They used to have so many of those different type of liqueur drinks too. I mean, they were everywhere. I mean, I remember when I was probably 17, the first time we got a bottle of Brass Monkey, and that's basically the same thing. It's like a schnapps type drink and everything, but damn, that thing was good. Like crap.
Oh, and Grateful Deads are really good. I really love those.
I've seen 42 of them.
I forget what's all in that.
I even bought T-shirts, man, and they were made by not by the Grateful Dead. They were made by fan-made T-shirts, nothing like them.
Yeah, my wife still has some of those. What were they? I think they were. I don't remember if they were non-alcoholic or whatever, but they had those Grateful Dead wine bottles.
Oh no, those wine, that was actually wine.
Was that
they
wine?
They had some that was actually wine. Some was just for decoration, but there's some that was actual wine.
Yeah, she's got 3 out of the 4.
Drink one, did she?
I don't know. I don't know. We got them displayed above our kitchen. Like we got one of those kitchens where it's got like the separated panel running around to store things on top of.
Are they corked?
I do not recall offhand.
If they're corked, they should be left on their side.
No, I just put them up on top of this thing in a little like wine cooler or a bottle holder to stand them up so you could see them. I'm pretty sure if there is anything in them, nobody's drinking them.
The Grateful Dead drink is Blanco tequila, white rum, gin, vodka, raspberry liqueur, and lemon juice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never heard of that. That must be something that's new.
Another one that was really good is my buddy had come back from Mardi Gras one year and he was talking about melon balls. And they're just
in alcohol.
So, a melon ball basically all it is it's vodka and it's melon liqueur. I don't think there's anything else in it. I don't even think there's peach schnapps or anything in it. It's really good though.
I've been in bars where you can order melon balls that are soaked in. I think it was some kind of. I think it was either. I don't think it was tequila. I think it might have been rum. And eat the honeydew melon soaked in white rum. Oh, good stuff. But
I gotta stay away from rum.
Yeah, you don't see stuff like that hardly anymore. Got to make it yourself. You don't find that in bars anymore.
I go nuts if I drink rum and I start knocking things down like trees and people. It's not good.
So that's your version of a live stream in a pint, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. This one for the Grateful Dead has you add blue Caraco and raspberry liqueur to either side of the glass, and it gives you a tie-dye effect. And before you drink it, that's when you stir it. Interesting. And they have triple sec in this too, in this one.
I don't know, V-Star. I can't make out what that emoji is either. It's kind of hard to see on my phone. Is that a banjo?
It's musical note that's odd looking and
is a banjo.
Different musical note and a banjo.
Okay.
All right, let's see here.
Hey, Nick, your car's got some purty lips.
I've seen fan art that's borders in the yaoi territory. I mean, they can make porn out of anything, even kit cars.
Yep. Rule 34, man.
That's right.
If it exists, there is a porn of it.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's better than the original. I had to.
Well, hey, man, it's the same thing with pornos. There's Knight Rider pornos out there, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Ow, it's too big.
All right. This next song coming up is Boomerang Fun Show. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. I saw Letterman, what a fun guy. It was more fun than a frog in a glass of milk, Bobby once said. Kool-Aid test was fun too. I've walked from night to day. It's a boomerang fun show. Time will tell. Always bounces back. In a boomerang show. Welcome to the boomerang show. Just another Ghost Bear show. Loads of boomerang fun. Come on, catch it on the rebound like a hound on a scent. If you had any sense, make it fast to the boomerang show. No, it won't last. Catch the blast on the boomerang show. Catch the blast while it lasts. Boomerang fun show on the way. Don't get lost on the way. I saw Letterman, what a funny guy. It was more fun than a frog in a glass of milk. Bobby once said the Kool-Aid test was fun too. I've walked from night to day. It's a boomerang fun show. Time will tell, always bounces back. In the boomerang show. Welcome to the boomerang show. Just another Ghost Bear show. Loads of boomerang fun. Come on, catch it on the rebound like a hound on the scent. If you had any sense, make it fast to the boomerang show. No, it won't last. Catch a blast on the boomerang show. Catch a blast while it lasts. Boomerang fun show is on the way. Don't get lost on the way. I saw Letterman, what a funny guy. It was more fun than a frog in a glass of milk, Bobby once said. The Kool-Aid test was fun too. I walked from night to day. It's a boomerang fun show. Time will tell, always bounces back. In a boomerang show, welcome to the boomerang show. Just another Ghost Bear show. Loads of boomerang fun. Come on, catch it on the rebound. Like hounds on the scent. If you had any sense, make it fast to the boomerang show. No, it won't last. Catch a blast on the boomerang show. Catch a blast while it lasts. Boomerang fun shows on the way. Don't get lost on the way. Catch a blast on the boomerang show. Boomerang show on the way. Boomerang
That's
fun
Rick
show.
James vibe from that.
Good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you. I had fun creating it. Oh, man. Because write the lyrics, sing the vocals and stuff like that. And, you know, I wouldn't really be able to do this if there wasn't existing instrumental. And I am... because I have a TubeBuddy membership, I got access to audiohero.com. And they've got a bunch of free instrumentals that are free to use.
Cool. I'm gonna have to check that out.
And so basically, check your TubeBuddy membership if you have one. If you have star level TubeBuddy membership, you have access to Audio Hero.
Okay.
And there is all kinds of stuff available there, but it's not quite as organized and nice like the free audio that's in YouTube's free audio section. It's a little less organized, but it's serviceable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, the that was a really good time because that the other song, Three Wise Men Pulling Corks, that song was born just out of drunken debauchery and good times and chuckles and giggles. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we were just having a good old time and talking about warp speed because I created a warp effect. I got a reverse one, and there's the same color and style. And I have one that's reverse, and I have one that's forward. Kind of cool. Because what'd you guys think of this?
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. Well, what I did is I took a slideshow, and I put a multiple layered features in it. And then I produced the video. Then I brought the video back in. And under the settings, there's a thing called laser. And so it puts a circle in the center. And you can see the circled center of the image, moving image. And it's got what looks like altered, fractured colors of lasers of the image shooting straight out in a pattern. Well, you put that one there, and then what I do is I put the kaleidoscope filter underneath. And then I take the video that I created, and I put it in front of it, and I make it opaque to where it's just a little visible. And it mixes real good with the other stuff going on, too. And I was just blown away by how cool this was. And there is just some weird ass freaking patterns, and a lot of them star patterns, a lot of them stop sign shaped. It's just kind of cool. I was really impressed. And it's only what this thing here is. How long? This is about. It's 3 minutes and 34 seconds right here. And I don't know what I'm going to use this on yet. Because it's pretty fucking out there. I used the original one of this pattern on the last video, but it didn't have no kaleidoscope stuff going on. But yeah, using the particle effects and stuff like that in the and there's one thing that I don't like about Cyberlink Power Director is it has my name on it, and so I can't live stream with it open and show people stuff on it because it's got my name on there. Yeah.
You mean to dox yourself?
Right. I would dox myself indeed. That's why when I live stream, I always make sure everything is trim and the way it should be, and make sure nothing that shouldn't be shown isn't showing. And that goes for kind of a semi-professional manner too, you know. Make sure everything's on the up and up, so it's, you know, it's okay. But yeah, basically the going back to the creation of that song, I was thinking of using this as the slideshow for Three Wise Men Pulling Corks. And that was basically RR in the chat, Mikhail in the chat, and we're just joking around, having fun. I was playing tunes, and Mikhail commented in the chat that his wife was dancing to my tunes in the kitchen while they were making dinner. Now, I gotta say, man, that's high praise. That's really high praise. It's a humbling feeling, I gotta say. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
It's always nice to get positive feedback on your hard work.
Yeah, and you know, and I've got some really nice compliments just when I needed them, and it happened just when it was supposed to. I'm kind of looking at it the kind of Hobbit kind of way. I got that kind of attitude, you know, I guess. But you know, it's a lot of these things are really fun. And that the first song that I let you guys that I played for you was 26 Years Gone. I played that for you guys, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was because I realized, because you know, my thoughts lately have been a lot on Jerry Garcia and the style of music he did and his thoughts about music and stuff like that. And he's had an influence over me on the music because he was Grateful Dead wasn't my first concert. Jerry Garcia Band was my first concert, and I've always been tapped in, and it led to other areas, bluegrass, because Jerry was in a banjo band, and he played banjo, and he played with some pretty notorious banjo musicians back in 62, 61, stuff like that. So there's a lot of that influence there, and there's other influences, a lot of folk music, stuff like that. Arlo Guthrie, Bob Dylan, all the folk singers that you can think of the Wildwood Boys. Those guys were freaking awesome. Some of the best banjo music around. And there's a young guy going out there. He's Billy Strings. I've seen him play both acoustic guitar and banjo, and he's freaking fabulous. And he does he live streams his concerts when he goes and plays. That's cool, right? It's a cool thing. And so it's like a lot of my when there's really nobody on a panel and I'm just by myself, I sing my songs and I sing live and stuff like that. And with the new setup, it works a lot easier and it sounds a lot better. Works better. And a lot of times it turns into a lot of fun. And it's between me and the chat. And there may be 3 or 4 people there, maybe 5 people, maybe 8. I don't know. When it's 2:48 in the morning, you got 8 people in the chat and then 10 people. That's pretty good. That's not bad. And it was just singing some songs, having some shots, and enjoying the company. Awesome.
Yeah, you got to create
camaraderie.
You got to create when the inspiration comes to you, and sometimes it's in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was in the middle of a show. Yeah. Because what happened was on Saturday's live stream, I was by myself, and I had Mikhail and RR in the chat, and there was a few others periodically popping in and out. And one whole verse of a song came to me, and I opened a Word doc, and I typed it up real quick. And then I showed Mikhail and them my warp field that I use for a background when I'm doing just when I do an article and I want a moving warp field and just simple. I kind of like that for when I do articles and stuff like that when I do them. Hey, Mikhail, how you doing, man? It's talking about you. Talking about
his ears were ringing.
Yeah. We're talking about 3 wise men pulling corks. Well, welcome one of the wise men to the chat. 3 wise men.
I think one of the strangest things that's ever happened to me when I'm like creating stuff, and this goes for when I used to be in a band as well, is one of the things where it'd be the middle of the night. I'm having a dream about some song that we're working on as a band that we obviously haven't worked on yet, and I would just wake up out of that dead sleep and start writing.
Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is. It doesn't matter where you're at. If it's you got a little notepad in your pocket, a little pencil, keep one with you, or you got a phone and you send yourself a text and stuff like that. I've got right now. I have the new one I just did. What I did is I sent it to myself, and I want to say that maybe I sent another one to myself. Yeah, there's that one. Yeah, there was one other one that I sent to myself that I have open now that I've been kind of working on. I transferred over, and then there's another one that I'm also working on. Let's see, where's it at? And what did I do with that? Days of Bliss, looking back time. But it's got 7s in it. And it was just one of those things. It was just ended up being kind of cool, kind of being mixing with what was going on at that time. Yeah. All right, here's what we're going to do. You guys want to hear a funny satire song? And then we'll play Three Wise Men Pulling Corks one more time. All right. Worthy of a tear and a beer. Now, this is satire. Keep that in mind. It's supposed to be funny. Okay. Worthy of a tear and a beer, she was wearing hazy boots. She stopped in front of me. What a knuckle biter. What a heartbreaker. I lost my stuff. It surprised me so much. What a heartbreaker. Life's funny like that. Then you find yourself in a bowling alley, smashing pins. Days of innocence, racing up and down the alleyways. Days when the oak leaf fell slowly. The tree glowing in the moonlight, glowing with glee. Worthy of a tear and a beer. She was wearing daisy dukes. She stepped in front of me. What a knuckle biter. What a heartbreaker. Life's funny like that. You'll find yourself in a bowling alley, smashing pins. Days of innocence, racing up and down the alleyways. Days when the oak leaf fell slowly. The tree glowing with grace. Worthy of a tear and a beer. She was wearing daisy dukes. She stopped in front of me. What a knuckle biter. What a heartbreaker. Life's funny like that. You'll find yourself in a bowling alley, smashing pins. Days of innocence, racing up and down the alleyways. Days when the leaf fell slowly. The tree glowing in the moonlight, glowing with grace, glowing with glee. Worthy of a tear and a beer. She was wearing daisy dukes. She stepped in front of me. What a knuckle biter. What a heartbreaker. Life's funny like that. Then you find yourself in a bowling alley, smashing pins. Days of innocence, racing up and down alleyways. Days when oak leaf fell slowly. That tree glowing in the moonlight, glowing with grace. Oh, yeah. I like that song. It reminds me of some of the rock and roll bars and maybe might even some kind of cool honky tonk places. And I've seen some pretty cool rock and roll bars. A lot of them all throughout Northwest Indiana, northeastern Illinois, all through up in Chicago and south of Chicago, north of Chicago, even places up in Wisconsin that are, seen some interesting places. There was this one place up in it was just up in Wisconsin, just across the state line, and I don't know. It was kind of sort of like a rock and roll hair type bar, where there was metal, there was different types of rock bands that came through there. Room enough for about 200 people, maybe. Not small, not big, just right in the middle, And it was a kind of a cool place. And I've seen Dark Star Orchestra play there a couple times. It's interesting. So how you doing, Mikhail? So let's see here. Three Wise Men pulling corks. Man, that was interesting how that came about, because that song was basically born during a live stream, and from the beginning to end process, I live streamed it. Yeah, and the song was created live. Well, of course, the next day I went in and I did the vocals better because they weren't loud enough. But when this song was when I sung it for the first time live and recorded the vocal track. It was somewhere between 1:41 and 1:48 a.m. in the morning, West Coast time, and it was interesting. I gotta say, it was fun. It was a first. It's not that I planned it. It just there happened to be some really cool, funny kind of situations in our conversations. And we were all drinking cognac and saying some toasts, some cheers here and there, and sort of like a game on my channel. The sound of a cork on the mic basically is the sound that says, "Hey, if you're partaking, reload." And here's a cheers. Kind of fun. So, all right, Three Wise Men pulling corks. Learning to grow roses, three wise men pulling corks, breaking the barrier of time and space, learning to grow roses. What was given, not excuses out. Keep pretending to not to notice. Wave of emotion, like wave rolling back. Pretending and pretending all the fake, faking, spinning yarn all over town. Don't blow gasket. Getting lost in town, finding trouble in double time. Learning to grow roses, three wise men pulling corks, breaking the barrier of time and space. Learning to grow roses, what was given, not making excuses. I'll keep pretending not to notice. Wave of emotion, like a wave rolling back. Pretending and pretend land, all the faking, spinning yarns all over town. Don't blow gasket, getting lost in town, finding trouble in double time. Learning to grow roses, three wise men pulling corks, breaking barriers, time and space. Learning to grow roses. What was given, not making excuses. I'll keep pretending not to notice. Wave of emotion, like waves rolling back. Pretend in pretend land, all the fake, spin, shitty, spinning yarn all over town. Don't blow gasket, getting lost in town, finding trouble in double time. Learning to grow roses, 3 wise men pulling corks, breaking the barrier of time and space. Learning to grow roses, what was given, not making excuses. I'll keep pretending to not notice. Wave of emotion, like waves rolling back. Pretending in pretend land, all the fake, shitty spinning yarns all over town. So don't blow gasket, getting lost in town, finding trouble in double time. Learning to grow roses, 3 wise men pulling corks, breaking the barrier of time and space. Learning to grow roses. Hey, 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 hey. Learning to grow roses, 3 wise men pulling corks, breaking the barrier of time and space. Learning to grow roses. What was given, not making excuses. I'll keep pretending not to notice. Wave of emotion like waves rolling back. Pretending in pretend land, all the fake, spinning yarns all over town. Don't blow a gasket, getting lost in town, trouble in double time. Learning to grow roses, wise men pulling corks, breaking the barrier of time and space. Learning to grow roses, 3 wise men pulling corks, breaking the barrier of time and space. Learning to grow roses, breaking the barrier of time and space. 3 wise men pulling corks. Yeah. Indeed.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so now when it comes to tomorrow night, we are either going to cover, we're going to choose either Amok Time, that's season 2, episode 1, or there was another one that I was looking at earlier this afternoon. Friday's Child. I believe that's episode 11 in season 2. So we're going to pick out of those 2. Probably cover that tomorrow, because I just happened to turn it on and look at it and seen that 2 episode, and it pretty much features a lot of Bones. Those were the episodes that stood out the most for Bones, and that's why I'm covering those, because it's a Bones theme kind of thing. Bones is cool.
Cool.
Bones is cool. I like Bones.
I dig me some DeForest Kelly.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That's back when Star Trek was good.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll probably cover that. And I normally, it's kind of like a spur of the moment kind of thing. If I stream on a Friday, it's just one of those kind of things, It's technically I was supposed to go at 6:30, but some things needed to be done first and all that. So, you hanging in there, Tommy? What's going on, man?
No, I'm just chilling, relaxing, snacking out, looking for carrots and lettuce, but there seems to be a lack of it in this place. It's not very guinea pig friendly.
Yeah. My normally my lunch is a bowl of veggies. I have been basically reducing more of my sodium intake. Sodium intake can basically make my blood pressure go up, and I'm reducing my blood pressure.
I hear a good 48 ounces of Walton's also like cleanses out that stuff. You can't get away with that. You know what I mean? It's just got to be one of them dropped in every show. Tree fucker.
Oh, it's all
man.
natural.
All right, let's see here.
So did you guys already talk about Mortal Kombat earlier?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit here and there, and we pretty much said what we liked, and we were trying to remain vague and spoiler free. Because being, sure. Not everyone's seen it, and I wouldn't want to spoil it for anyone. Mm-hmm. But what we liked, what we thought was there, stuff like that. We said that. We said what we liked and what we thought, and the aspect of canon and stuff like that. And it was definitely outside the realm of canon.
Yeah, I thought it was okay, but it was very bland for me.
And there's parts of it I like, and there's parts that I felt less about. And basically,
I guess I would say I expected it to be a lot more energetic than it was. I didn't feel the adrenaline going. I thought there was a lot of randomness to it. I mean, like any movie, you can have great cinematic frame shots and visual effects and all that, but for me, it's really hard to overcome the art direction and the perfect synergy that was the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie. I really can't capture that in a bottle again.
Well, I'm taking it you feel pretty much probably similar to what I felt. Like if you're talking about a good action movie, it was a decent enough action movie, but it didn't feel really like a Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah, because I felt like it didn't know what it wanted to be because the tone was all over the place. It's like halfway through the movie, it becomes a whole different movie.
What I was gonna say is if you wanted the blood and guts and a lot of action going on with the fighting scene, stuff like that, that's there.
Yeah.
Some of it was great. Some of it could have used a little bit more work, and not all of it was good.
I think that's a good way to put it. I think it feels very unfinished, like they were racing the deadline and they just kind of threw things in at the last minute. Like I'm very aware that the movie was shot out of sequence. Let's put it that way. Like there's certain scenes that just didn't feel like they flowed very well.
Yeah, when movies are made like that, there's it's like what's his name? Scott Alien, Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott.
Yeah. He has a talent to be able to film stuff out of sequence in it for it to make sense. I've seen him do that, but some people necessarily have a hard time doing that, probably.
Well, you know what, Bear? I mean, that's the failure of the editor, because the editor is the person who's supposed to sit there and be able to put all those scenes together, know what to chop out, and to make it flow properly. And apparently their editor was probably too busy taking too many ounces of Walton's Best and forgot what he was doing and spent too much time on the toilet. And that's probably why it came off a little bit sloppy.
Because basically some of the scenes with Sonya I would have taken out, and I would have left the best ones in that was meaningful, because it was unnecessary. And it doesn't mean that her portrayal was bad, not at all. It's just it was not necessary for that to happen.
V-Star asks, so Mortal Kombat is a no-go.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah, myself, I didn't really care for it much, and I would not watch it again because I was not impressed with it at all. Bear has found some like redeeming qualities to the film that, I mean, if you're looking for a good action movie, it's that. But I mean, me personally, if you're going to actually watch Mortal Kombat, I think this misses the mark, personally.
Yeah, I'm in Tommy's camp on that. But I will say, it's definitely worth watching at least once. I just don't see a lot of rewatch value in it for me. I kind of feel like one and done.
Same.
Hey, I think it's GJ Odyssey's birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
The bunny.
Birthday.
Happy Slavey Odyssey Day.
So I just heard from Steven. And I think it's DJ's birthday.
But yeah, definitely a once and done deal with the Mortal Kombat.
I think.
Oh, he did? Huh.
I just.
Happy
I was
birthday,
expecting
DJ. If you happen to rewatch this.
A lot of energy, and just like the opening title sequence is so flat. You know, you got the 95 one where it's like Mortal Kombat, and the logo comes up with the fire and the pounding music and all that, and gets you hyped up. And even though the opening scene to that movie is also kind of slow, at least it hypes you up before it dives into it. This one just kind of starts, and then I was expecting like, okay, maybe they're going to do that after the opening scene, you know?
Yeah.
And they didn't. And I was just like, okay, but then they remix the Mortal Kombat
and it was
scene
really
at the end
weird
of the movie, which is kind of weird because it's like you should have just put that in the movie somewhere.
Weren't there scenes where it was remixed and it just didn't feel right? Like it just felt off. You don't mess with something that is so classic, you know. Just keep it the way it was, you know, and just, you know, go with it. Well,
I think a lot of it has to do with there's a lot of factors. Like the script was okay, but the characters weren't really that. The Earthrealm characters were developed well enough, but the other characters just kind of pop in and out. They don't really get an introduction. They just show up. And I think that could have been handled better. I think that there was a lot of scenes that just dragged for the sake of filling out the running time. But the pacing was really what got me. Like it's all over the place. You know, there's sometimes it's really fast and quick and too quick, like edited too quick. I can't tell who's hitting who. And then other times it's really slow. And I just like, can we get past this and get to something interesting? And I'm waiting for the music to cue something exciting happening. And even during some of the fights, the music is just out of place. It's like slow and somber.
Not good.
Yeah, the music needs to fit the scene.
That's just, I would say, for me, it just lacked energy. It lacked percussion and adrenaline. Like a Mortal Kombat's all about the action and high tempo music and the outlandish scenery and then you see you see what Outworld is, and you're like, what? I thought I was watching Star Trek for a minute. I was like, and the Star Trek Discovery, you know, and it was like it was just disappointing. Like, I don't want to spoilers, but it was just kind of disappointing.
Yeah, we don't want to give no details. That's for sure. Yeah, I almost did. I just almost named 3 things I seen. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a huge spoiler to do that.
No, I will say this. One other thing I think that they almost hit, but I think they overplayed it, is when they were putting in these little mini phrases in that you would have heard in the game.
Yep.
I felt a couple times they were cool to use, and I felt a couple other times they were just forced to try to throw that nostalgia for the gamers, and I thought that was a little mishandled.
Well, I mean, I love member berries, but I wanted to be in context, not just come out of nowhere for the sake of, oh, well, we got to get this in there, we got to get that in there. You know?
Needs to be
look,
earned.
You see this? Remember this? This is from the game. Remember this is from the game. It's like, it's not natural. It's just kind of tacky when you just throw it in there.
Yeah, it needs to be earned, man.
Yeah,
that's the kind of how I look at it.
I'll be curious to see, maybe it could be one of those movies where it gets a lot better in the sequel because they're brought in the cast of characters more. And since you've got all the setup out of the way, you can really get into the meat and potatoes of things. But I don't know, man. I'm indifferent on how to feel about it. I just feel like as it stands right now, it needs a lot of help to get me hyped for a sequel.
Well, that's one of the things we were discussing earlier. Like, can they take this, what they did wrong, what they did right, and actually listen to the people who love this franchise and be able to make adjustments to make something better?
We use Sonic as a comparison and weighing the 50-50 kind of odds. Will they, won't they, maybe they won't, that kind of thing. And because they both come from Sega, the original patent holders, Sega games. And so, they come from the same tree in a way. And so will it be handled the same way? Will they say to fans, okay, we'll do this to correct this, or will they show us? It ain't necessary to tell us. That's not necessary, but will you show us by doing? Show,
don't tell. Yeah,
exactly.
Nothing irritates me more in a movie than a lot of can't say it now.
Exhibition?
Expository dialogue. Where a character acts more like an NPC character in a video game than like a real person.
Yeah. Well, I felt like I was saying earlier that they took like everybody's gripes with the original where it wasn't violent and it wasn't and they just heavy-handedly that's all they did. Like they like with all the fatalities and stuff, which is fine. But I want substance to that stuff. You know what I mean? Not just like, let's just do everything that everybody complained about the original about and nothing else. Like,
I feel like you have to have characters that have enough development to care. Like I saw the fights. I'm like, well, if the character dies, the character dies. I felt indifferent about it. It was no one I was particularly attached to.
Yeah.
I will say I really enjoyed Kano, though. I'll give Kano his props.
Was great.
I just felt a little bit lost on that character. He just didn't feel Kano enough for me. I don't know. I can't even explain why.
Really,
I would say the only character I really felt like was really in line with the game and really fit the role, I thought was Kung Lao.
Yeah, I could agree to that. For me, I think the worst character or blandest character really was Liu Kang, which was surprising because they could have did better with that. Although I did like his, how do I say without a spoiler? His abilities were nice. I liked Sonya. I thought she was okay, but she was very one-dimensional. Like, she didn't really have a motivation for me to care about.
How do you spell Kung Lao's name? Was that with okay, I see it, yeah. Lao.
Yeah. I mean, like costume wise and stuff, they nailed him. They did a really good job with him. And I mean, Liu Kang looked good too. I'll give them credit for that. Sonya Blade, the costumes were well enough.
The motivation that like Sonya Blade like had, like she like ignored, like in the very beginning.
Well, for me, she just comes across as like the smart ass ex-military chick, angry all the time, but there's no like motivation to it. Like, I mean, in the original Mortal Kombat, Sonya Blade's motivation was she wanted to go after Kano because he killed her partner or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And in this one, it's like, okay, I won't get into particulars, but she has a particular goal in mind, and once she accomplishes that goal, then she's like a ship without a rudder. She doesn't know where else to go from there, or they don't know where else to go with her character from there.
Yeah.
And the way it ended was really bizarre. I know it sets it wide open for a sequel, but you got to have some sense of closure. It seems more like a to be continued thing for me.
I got that feeling too. I was really surprised there was no after credits scene either.
Yeah, I actually watched the credits thinking I didn't some teaser, but they didn't.
So as soon as the main bulk of the film was over, I just shut it right off. I was like, "Yep, okay."
Yeah, you didn't miss anything.
No,
there was no stinger or anything with that. So for those of you that see it in a theater, don't worry. You can take your piss break.
Yeah, exactly.
Run, bitches, run!
Yeah, I liked Kung Lao's character in this because that it's only been a couple weeks since me and my buddy we played Mortal Kombat, the actual old school arcade game.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Oh my God! Have you seen any of those 1-Up arcades? They have a Mortal Kombat 1-Up.
Yeah, I watched 19K Fox's videos.
I was going to say 19K Fox does a lot of videos on that. I was out at a GameStop recently, speaking of those 1-Up real quick, and I happened to see they had old Star Wars one. It had Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, and it had like the ship controller on the front of it.
Oh, nice.
It was really neat. I was kind of hoping to be able to take a look and like play it real quick because usually a lot of times they might give you that opportunity, but unfortunately that one was out of order. But damn it, the cabinet didn't look really nice though. My only problem with it is I would never be able to buy it because I know somehow, some way Disney is getting a cut at that, and I am not giving that mouse any money. The guinea pigs are at war with the mouse.
So it's looking like tomorrow will be Star Trek.
The good Star Trek.
Yeah. All right, man.
I'm giving her all she's got, Captain.
Stop making my ankles go up.
I never was a big Star Trek fan, so
even the old Star Trek.
I like the original.
Even the old. Remember?
I like later next gen, like when the Borg show up, then it hook off. But
let me tell you something.
Hold. Did you guys? You just missed something huge here. Did you hear what Angela's? Did you just hear what freaking Angela said? Hold on.
I know we're just rolling right over that. We're rolling right over that. Let me tell you something, though, Nick. Let me tell you something about the Borg.
I will say that.
I'll tell you something about the Borg. The Borg are a bunch of bitches. The Guinea Pig Collective has got them in every single way. They got nothing on us. Matter of fact, they see us coming, they run because they know what's going to happen. But God damn you, Angelus. God damn you. You know what?
Never a big fan.
I like the original series. I grew up watching it. Next Generation was awesome in its own right. I hated Deep Space Nine at first. I couldn't stand it. When my dad was watching it, because he watched all the Star Trek. He even took me to see all the motion pictures in the theaters. I hated it at first. I just couldn't get into it.
Couldn't either.
It was only a few years back that I decided to give it another chance and watch it on Netflix. And after I got past probably about the 5th or 6th episode, it started to draw me in. And then I got interested. And it was after that, like I want to say midway through that first season is when it really starts picking up and it starts getting good. And by the second season and on, it's got you then if you can get to that point. Voyager, I couldn't stand. I've tried multiple times to watch that show, and I can get a couple episodes, and I have to shut it off, and I'll go back and try to watch, and I can't. Enterprise was the only other one that I liked. I mean, I know a lot of people had a problem that they didn't have Star Trek originally in the title, and a lot of people didn't like that opening theme music. I liked it. I don't really care. I'm a kid, grew up in the 80s and shit, and then used to hear that kind of music all the time. It didn't bother me. But I thought the story itself, most of the stories themselves in that first couple of seasons were really good. I think there was a lot of lackluster in the third season, but overall, I still like that series as well. Now, Discovery, I wouldn't even give that shit a fucking shot. And Picard, they can kiss my ass with that shit.
Oh, God, I can't believe they're making a season 2 of Picard. It's like, where do you go?
Can you believe that they made that many seasons of Discovery?
Yes, because they've got money to burn and they like to fail upwards, apparently. I mean, that season 2 finale for Discovery, it just makes no sense at all. And then I tried to set aside my personal preferences and give it a fair shot, because I actually enjoyed parts of season 1. Although I saw the twist coming a mile away, it wasn't hard to see.
That has Pike in it, right, or whatever?
No, season 1 was Lorca, the captain. Turns out to be not who he appears to be by the end. Season 2 was Pike.
Okay, because a couple of my friends off of the YouTube are like, "Yeah, Discovery's amazing. You gotta watch it." And
yeah, season
I hear
3
the
is the
complete
whole burn
opposite
thing
from
in the
everybody
future.
in the community. So I'm like, I'm gonna take everybody's word in the community.
Do they also think that Loser Decks is the best animated Star Trek show ever?
Oh, I don't know,
because that gives you a pretty good measuring stick on taste.
Well, I can use this comparison. All right, you can take a piece of fossilized dinosaur poop. You can polish it. You can cut it like a gem. You can put diamonds on it. You can put a little bit of gold gilding on it.
That's still,
but
still
in the end, it's still shit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a Chinese proverb with a Buddha sculpted out of a pile of crap.
That's how I describe Destiny and Destiny 2. It's like you can polish that shit up as much as you want. It's still shit.
There's a lot of things that I'm a little hip to, and it's those things that the kind of things that make me tick and all that I like. It's one of my interest areas, and sometimes you can watch where the flow goes, and then you can go with the flow, and you learn to follow that flow, and then you see things as a pattern, and then maybe you can have fun with that, and have fun with it. That's what I'm saying. Oh.
Well, I mean, in modern entertainment now, everything's got degrees of wokeness.
Oh,
it's just a matter of how much wokeness you can put up with that determines whether or not you enjoy a show.
I will give you a very good example of woke when that TV show 911. Well, when it came back and they were all wearing masks and all that stuff, I shut it off. Done. I'm done with your propagandizing stuff. This, that. I'm not gonna do it. I watch TV show to get away from the freaking real world. So thank you very much. I'm done with you.
That's exactly how I felt about the Goldbergs.
It totally killed a really good, decent show about police and firemen working together and stuff like that. It reminded me of Rampart. I used to watch that when I was a kid.
Bear, you know another one. My wife used to really like to watch ER, and I remember
that was a decent show.
Yeah, I used to sit there, and a lot of times I was probably either modding for people's channels at the time when I was modding like 50 million different channels, and I'd be sitting there modding channels, and she'd be watching ER, and I'd hear that music, and I'd like, that music's kind of catchy, and I catch like watching some of it, I'm like, it's not too bad of a show, and then later on, like the later seasons, they started getting that woke shit in there, and I was like, ugh.
That was early on.
Yeah, and my wife's seen it right away, and she's like, ugh. She's like, I can't tolerate these later seasons. It was like terrible how bad that they put that shit in there. Oh, rotten to the core.
The more they put in there, the worse it gets. And it's, get woke, go broke is a proven formula for failure.
It's like Captain or Winter Soldier and Falcon, or Falcon and Winter Soldier, or whatever.
I haven't watched it.
At this point, it's on purpose.
That show is terrible. It's like halfway through the first episode, you realize what kind of show it is. It's like, hey, did you know Sam? He's black. Did you know that?
Captain America.
Angelus, you should be ashamed of yourself. First off, it's not the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's the Black Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Thank you very much. Oh, I'm sorry. Black Falcon and the White Winter Soldier.
Oh, the White Winter
Soldier. The white overprivileged Winter Soldier.
Okay. But like that's what it was. The first basically halfway through the first episode, it's like, hey, did you know Falcon's black? And then the whole second episode is literally just that. It's like, no, I didn't realize that, and thanks for letting me know every 2 seconds. But yeah,
you know what it was? It was your blind vampire whiteness that didn't allow you to say it. Thank God that they were.
And then they nerfed the shit out of Winter Soldier. It's like, what do you just forget his training all of a sudden? Like,
no, that was white guilt.
White guilt, and his he wasn't allowed to use his white privilege anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that, and I was like, nope. Nope. I already knew what to expect.
I knew what to expect based on the comic run of the same thing. Well,
that's like I said,
to give it the benefit of the doubt.
I'll give you an example of something that has wokeness in it that doesn't bother me as much. The Invincible cartoon series on Amazon. I don't know if you guys seen Invincible, but it's pretty good.
I watched
Invincible. Where's it on?
Amazon.
Yeah, it's on Amazon
Prime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I watched the first few episodes, maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3, and I wasn't feeling it. I hear everybody else like sitting there praising it, and
it's one of those series you got to stick with. I mean, because there's filler episodes and there's things where things actually happen. But I would say, wokeness aside, which was mostly takes place at the high school.
Turn the lights off.
It's probably the most realistic and great. It's what basically The Boys should have been. It's got the violence and it doesn't have the sex or nudity, but whatever. But it has characters that have depth to them, even though there's a lot of characters that you're introduced to. And the fights are just brutal.
I haven't even finished season 2.
Realistic in that
So
sense.
Did you say Invincible or Invisible?
Invincible.
Okay.
It's easiest way to describe it is basically it's like a parody of Superman if Jor-El had raised Kal-El on Earth and Jor-El had questionable morals.
Is this a new movie or a 2006 movie?
It's a cartoon series.
Yeah, it just came out like not even like a week or 2 ago, whatever it was.
Yeah, there's like 5 episodes now.
I was going through HBO Max and I like I watched some of those DC cartoons that they have on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I watched that, what was it, Flashpoint Paradox or something
that
like
movie's
that?
amazing.
Oh,
That
wow.
was really good. That had a lot
it's
of
so
violence in it, and that was like gritty for
There's
DC.
a warning, mature content on this thing.
That's because it has a lot of blood in it and violence.
Another good show that I've liked that's animated is on Netflix. It's called Dota Dragon's Blood. And he's basically like a dragon monster hunter type guy. And there's like an evil, obviously, that's trying to take over like normal fantasy stuff. But it's fun and I enjoy it. And there's no woke in it that I've noticed. And Robert Meyer Burnett is been promoting it a lot.
Have you guys seen or heard about Primal?
I've heard of it.
I've seen it. It's pretty
Sounds
gritty, but
vaguely
it's
familiar.
not really my cup of tea. It's like dinosaurs and stuff.
Yeah. I thought that was actually pretty decent for what it was, especially coming from Adult Swim. Like
Sure.
most of their stuff has like been pretty terrible. I didn't really think that was that bad.
Well, Gendy's a pretty good dude. He did an amazing job with the original Clone Wars, I thought. The Clone Wars shorts.
Oh, it's from him.
So is Primal
Gendy
an animation?
Tartarsky or
Yes.
something like that.
Yes. Yeah. It's on
Gendy
HBO Max.
Tarkovsky's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It takes a few episodes for it to really get good, but I mean, even the first couple episodes are pretty brutal. So
Nice, I'll have to check that out.
I'm searching for it as we speak on HBO Max.
HBO Max has a lot of
Tommy.
great stuff on there.
Yeah, it does.
A lot of anime.
Mm-hmm.
We might cover this, Tommy, if you're game.
no, I'm game.
Kill la Kill is on at HBO Max, and that's
I
fun.
love Kill la Kill.
It's so good.
Because this reminds me of Death Dealer without the armor and all that stuff.
Hunter x Hunter's really good too.
Haven't watched that.
Oh, you should check that one out. If you like Kill la Kill, you might take it.
Okay. The reason I watch Kill la Kill is because it's I believe it's by the same guys that did Gurren Lagann, so I had to check it out, or at least has the same animation style.
Well, of course, sexy ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Conan style lamentation.
Yeah, the good stuff.
Okay.
You don't know what that is, do you, boy? Out there on the rocks. Come to me, my child. Come.
Oh man, James Earl Jones killed it in that movie.
Yeah, it was
All
such a
right.
classic.
For those of you that are interested in watching this,
Yeah.
that right there. So yeah, we just may cover that.
Huh. Looks interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was enjoyable. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the best cartoon series out there, or by far, but I thought it was well enough done, and it didn't have a lot of stupid shit in it like some of these other ones do. There wasn't a lot of pandering nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that show was, I believe that show was made before the wokeness took over Hollywood.
I don't know. The wokeness has been around for a long time, longer than most people even realize.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I mean to the degree that it's gotten to.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
I mean,
think
you could.
it-
I don't
I
think you
think
could
it
make a show
started-
like
I think
Primal
it started
today.
in soap operas first.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a likely spot that it's very possible. Because when I was a kid, when there was nothing on, you watched soap operas, man. Because sometimes there wasn't all these cable channels like today.
Oh yeah.
There was 30 with a flip switch. That was it.
Mhm.
I used to watch Passions from time to time because the ladies that when I worked at Kmart would watch it in the break room. So I'd started to get into it. I'd give them shit for watching soap operas, and then I started getting into it.
Next thing you know, you were a General Hospital fan, and
Oh, I
I
can
started
go
getting
even
into
more
it,
old
man.
school than that. My mom watch reruns of Dark Shadows.
Oh, you know what? Don't even start on Dark Shadows. I love that shit. My mother had, when I went through my parents' house after my dad passed, I found my mother's collection. She had the complete collection of Dark Shadows on VHS.
Yep. And that's a big collection too, because there was
it is
300 friggin' episodes of that thing. I met Laura Parker and Kathy Lee Gron. It's like Kathy Lee something. Angelique and Josette at a Comic-Con.
I like that show. I remember she used to watch that, and then she used to watch this other one called Helltown, where it was a preacher who was a boxer, and he would go out there and try to help people and clean up the streets with his fists.
I didn't hate the Dark Shadows movie. They did a lot of changes, but I thought they were pretty fair to the mythology of it. I mean, the way Barnabas became a vampire was lame, but I didn't mind Johnny Depp as Barnabas and some of the liberties they took in the movie.
I'll say I don't think the characters were as well developed as they were in the TV series, because obviously the TV series had all the time to sit there and develop these characters. It was a bit goofy and a bit silly, but I still felt that it was better than that. What was that? Was that 1990s?
Oh, Revival?
Yeah. That. Oh God, I thought that was just terrible.
1990 revival of what?
It's called Dark Shadows Revival. Was basically a remake of the series. You know, CW tried to make a new Dark Shadows series, and they didn't get past the pilot.
Wow.
Never seen it, but I've heard about it.
I need to find a way to watch Forever Night.
Oh wow, yeah, that's going back pretty far too. I remember. Well, you remember Dracula the series?
That sounds familiar. I think I used to watch that.
What, Forever Night?
Yeah.
I watched Dracula the series as a kid. I think there was a UK thing that was imported to America. It's kind of like Monster Squad.
Ooh, I love Monster Squad.
Oh.
I used to watch the crap out of that as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
I was like one of the only kids back then that like ever even knew about it, because it was such a cult classic type deal.
Kind of like Lost Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't watch Lost Boys too.
Oh gosh.
Oh, dude, the tribe is terrible.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
3 isn't that bad, just because it has the Frog Brothers back. And they kind of explain what happened to like the original cast, but 2 is just terrible. And
back in those days, being a geek or letting people know you were a geek was a danger to your social life.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like the hip thing to do.
Yep.
Well, back in that day, I was kind of too big and slightly intimidating for anything to be done in that kind of manner.
Not me. I was the Coke bottle glasses wearing nerd.
Back in the day, this here was orange, red, brass color.
Mm.
And I had hair down to my ass.
Huh.
No one gave me shit.
That was my high school days when I started wearing a trench coat to school.
Here's a good old day. Salute. Oh, good stuff. Woo. So, all-time favorite episode of Star Trek out of any of the renditions?
That's a tough one, because that's a long list of episodes.
Yeah.
I cannot remember it exactly what what the episodes, because it's actually a two-parter. And as much as I like the stuff from Enterprise, and as far as like a series goes, I enjoy watching Enterprise more. Like if I'm just watching it, just binging it, I enjoy watching Enterprise more as a binge show. But if you're talking about my favorite episode, it was a two-part episode, and it had to do with the Klingon Civil War and with Gowron taking control of the Klingon Empire.
Yeah, that's a good one. Was that Deep Space Nine?
No, that was Next Generation.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I would say any of them that deal with the mirror universe.
There was some Klingon involved during the Dominion War. Prior to it, with the Klingons and the Federation, there were some episodes that I really liked. There were some hardcore Klingon involved episodes. I would say
Mikhail Wolf says Balance of Terror.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yep. I like the pilot. It's one of my favorites out of the TOS. And if let's say if I were to let's see, where is that? I am looking. There was one. Does Balance of Terror involve Romulans, Mikhail? I think it might.
Oh God! And what was that one episode with Picard? It had that quoted line, and I've seen it on shirts and everything. Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra.
There are 4 lights.
Yeah, when I was with my ex, she was a big Star Trek fan and had me watch TNG with her, like the whole series. So.
Yeah, Mikhail, Balance of Terror. I'd have to say that's probably my favorite one as well. You know? Yeah, that's the Balance of Terror. That's when they have a little dogfight with the Romulan bird of prey. Yeah, we actually we covered this episode about maybe 4 or 5 months ago, maybe. Yeah, we covered that episode.
The one with Gary Mitchell was pretty good. I don't know what the episode's called, but it's him and his girlfriend. They're getting godlike powers.
Yeah, we the late edition and the Four Horsemen was the name title of that show. The Menagerie of Heroes is one that I, for some reason, when I searched Balance, it pulled this up. Because I label stuff in the info, and so it'll pull that up too. Apparently, it did not pull up the right one. That was 8 months ago. Let's see. We've covered Encounter at Farpoint. We've done some Picard reactions. Let's see. We've covered Return to Tomorrow. we've covered quite a few episodes here and there. Jumping around, keeping it loose. Yeah. I'd say that was Bound to Terror was great story, done well. That's what I like about Star Trek. That's what I like. That's why I watch it, because of that. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and wrap up, and we'll save a little for tomorrow night. Don't want to get too carried away. All right, let's see here. Let's what are we gonna play here? I'm gonna look at the song list of another 10 songs. I gotta create a what do you call it? A slideshow for. So I think we'll play Elephants Afraid of Mice, and we'll weave our way into Three Wise Men Pulling Corks. And in between those two, you just let them know where stuff can be found, what you're up to, and all that good jazz. All right. This one's Elephants Afraid of Mice. Elephants afraid of mice, dice is rolling. The heart sick and heavy, watching many fall. Willingly go to the gallows full of destruction. Darkness seeming into the dark. Final round coming to town. Minds of the massive brainwashing souls, filched by the soul eaters. Deadly lies, it's the new truth. Evil-doers sainted as saviors. Truth and courage censored, lies promoted. Dr. Seuss has been suppressed. If this is the new normal, you can't keep it. Angels thrown in prison, what can be done? The gullible to the bottomized, accepting hypnosis. Blinded by paper clown, world beyond the preposterous. Prosperous is dangerous. No more blind compliance, done with dark illusion. Walk through the town. Let's get slap happy. I see the huddling in their fabricated fear gasms. Like elephants afraid of mice, sheep and their masters, hypnotized by loathing. Don't wear sheep clothing. Flush the problem, walking in World War III of the mind. Destroyer of worlds, too busy looking for the enemy. They were the enemy at the gate. Be ready. Let's start this fire. Elephants afraid of mice. Dice is rolling. The heart's sick and heavy, watching humanity fall. Willingly go to the gallows full of destruction. Darkness seen clinging to the dark. Final round coming to town. Minds of the masses, massive brainwashing. Souls filched and pilfered by the soul eaters. Deadly lies, it's the new evil doers, sainted as saviors. Truth and courage censored, lies promoted. Dr. Seuss has been suppressed. If this is the new normal, you can keep it. Angels thrown in prison, what can be done? The goal of lobotomized, accepting hypnosis, blinded by paper worlds. Beyond the preposterous, prosperous is dangerous. No more blind clients stuck with dark illusions. Walking through the town, slap happy. I see the huddling in their fabricated fear gasm. Like yellow friends afraid of mice, sheep and their masochists. Hypnotized by loathing, don't wear sheep clothing. Flush the problem, walking in World War III of the mind. Destroyer of love worlds, too busy looking for the enemy. They were the enemy at the gate. Get ready, be ready, let's start this fire. Elephants afraid of mice, the dice is rolling. The heart's sick and heavy, watching humanity fall. Willingly going to the gallows pole of destruction. Yeah. So go ahead and let everyone know what you've been up to and what's going on. Angela, start with you. Or we can have a conversation about the eyeball nipple that replaced Tommy's icon. And there goes Tommy's icon.
And there he goes. Yep. Must have passed out on his keyboard or something.
No, I think he there's been an occasional glitch here.
Oh, his back. He said his back was giving up on him.
Alrighty. So we're gonna do this one more song and then we're out of here. Sure. So unless you guys got some special projects you want to tell them about, we'll go to the next tune in to take us out.
I can't get into particular details right now, but I'm doing something very big that involves Knight Rider, and keep those scanners peeled on the summer to find out more.
All right, you heard it here. So Nick will be back here to keep us updated.
That's right.
All right. So we're gonna play Three Wise Men Pulling Corks, new song, good stuff. All right, and after that we will say good night in harmonization and in tune. Hey.
Yep.
Learning roses, rewinding warts, breaking in barrier time and space. Learning throw roses. What was given, not excuses out. Keep pretending to not notice. Wave of emotion, like wave rolling back. Pretending and pretend all the fake faking, spinning yarn all over town. Don't blow gasket. Getting lost in town, finding trouble in double time. Learning to grow roses, 3 wise men pulling corks. Breaking the barrier of time and space, learning to grow roses. What was given, not making excuses. I'll keep pretending not to notice. Wave of emotion, like the waves rolling back. Pretending and pretend land, all the faking, spinning yarns all over town. Don't blow gasket, getting lost in town, finding trouble in double time. Learning to grow roses, 3 wise men pulling corks, breaking barrier, time and space. Learning to grow roses. What was given, not making excuses. I'll keep pretending not to notice. Wave of emotion, like waves rolling back. Pretend and pretend land, all the fake, spinning yarn all over town. Don't blow gasket, getting lost in town, finding trouble in double time. Learning to grow roses, 3 wise men pulling corks. Breaking the barrier of time and space, learning to grow roses. What was given, not making excuses. I'll keep pretending not to notice. Wave of emotion, like waves rolling back. Pretending and pretend all the fake faking, spinning yarns all over town. Don't blow gasket, getting lost in town, finding trouble in double time. Learning to grow roses, 3 wise men pulling corks, breaking the barrier of time and space. Learning to grow roses. Learning to grow roses, 3 wise men pulling corks, breaking the barrier of time and space. Learning to grow roses. What was given, not making excuses. I'll keep pretending not to notice. Wave of emotion, like waves rolling back. Pretending and pretend land, all the fake, spinning yarns all over town. Don't blow a gasket, getting lost in town, trouble in double time. Learning to grow roses, 3 wise men pulling corks, breaking the barrier of time and space. Learning to grow roses, 3 wise men pulling corks, breaking the barrier of time and space. Learning to grow roses, breaking the barrier of time and space. 3 wise men pulling corks. Hey. Yeah. Indeed. Well, with that, we will say good night. Thanks for stopping by. Best chat ever.